What I find so fascinating in my discussion with you today is that so many of the skills and advice you have for MSPs seem not to only just be technical skills, but soft skills. You mentioned MSPs chatting with their clients to find their pain points, doing discovery calls with the clients, seeing what it is they're really concerned about. It sounds like a lot of the skill sets are related to really good active listening skills, maybe some sales skills. So on the point of soft skills for MSPs, what's one bit of advice you have for them for developing that interesting
You,
aspect of the
you
business?
just hit the nail on the head. Listen, but literally listen. But to listen, you've got to set yourself up to be in the spaces to be able to have them talking to you as well, right? And I know a lot of MSPs, me included, for many years, used to run this process like the QBR process, the quarterly business review process, where we would come up with this process where we would get all of the technical crappy reports out of our ticketing systems and our antivirus tools and our backup tools, and we'd go to our client, we'd go, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Client, look at all these. Like every quarter we'd sit with them and we'd go, look at all these awesome, amazing backup reports and technical reports and patching reports, and our clients' eyes would glaze over and they'd be bored out of their brains and they would never book in their next quarterly business review. And so that's how I used to run them until I learned the right way to do it, which we now teach in the Tech Tribe. Um, but that's that space, that quarterly review, and we don't do them quarterly, or we don't suggest you do them quarterly. Now we suggest, we call them technology business reviews, and we have a specific agenda that you go through in them, and the cadence is based really on the client's needs. Some clients would love to have some sort of business review with their MSP. I've even seen it every 2 weeks, but like every month is a kind of common one. Every 2 months is a common one. Every 3 months is a common one. Sometimes you only need to have your sit down catch up with some clients once a year in there. But that intentional technology business review space is a great space to sit down and not send them any reports about bloody backups and antivirus patching and all that sort of crap, but to sit down and ask pain points and talk to them about their pain points. Like, what are the things that are challenging them at the moment? And then just sit there and open your two damn ears and listen. It's, as the old saying goes, you were given one mouth and two ears for a reason. Like, use the two ears and just sit there and listen and ask lots and lots of leading questions and lots of whys. Like, when they come up with something, they say, oh, we're having a problem with this. The next question should be why. Like, why are you having that problem? Well, because this over here is doing that. Well, why is that doing that? And the asking why a lot and being that kind of active listener is such an amazing way to, number one, uncover problems and challenges and whatnot that your clients are having. But number two, build incredible trust with your clients to the point where they will more than happily go and hand off entire due diligence processes to you, because they know that you care and they know that you've got that level of of curiosity and inquisitiveness, if that's even a word, to be able to dive into their pain points and their challenges so deep that you'd be able to solve them in there. And so that soft skill of just listening, getting yourself in there, like setting up intentional spaces to be able to be with all of your clients as often as possible to listen, is huge. Like, it is massive.
Yeah, I love your perspective on there, and especially when you mentioned being able to talk to their own pain points so well, like you know them in and out. That seems to make such a difference. And it might also tie into something I've been dying to ask you. What, for the sake of an MSP's profitability and success in the next 5 years, what kind of advice would you give them so that they're on the right track to being profitable and successful in 5 years?
I would say that you've got to be making sure that wherever you are in your journey, that you're setting aside some sort of intentional time, either on your own or with your team or your leadership team, to sit down, ideally minimum on a quarterly basis, and do that reflection and looking forward process, so that you're reflecting on what's worked well in the last quarter or the last time period, what hasn't worked well, what lessons have you learned, and then setting your goals and your targets and your directions for the next 3 months and the next 6 months and the next year and the next 3 years in there as well. Lots of MSPs follow the entrepreneurial operating system model, the EOS model, from Gino Wickman's Traction book, which is a great framework to follow, because the success means so many different things to so many different people. But if you don't know what your version of success is and you haven't outlined it down on some sort of paper or some sort of tangible thing, then you're never going to get there, right? And you're not going to know if you did anyway. And so to me, I'd be just recommending, if you don't have some sort of time outside the business, if you're in the grind and all day, every day you're turning up solving issues, you don't have some sort of space or time to do it. Step up, get up yourself up to that 20,000 foot view and just do it once every quarter. And so that intentional time is just huge. So if you don't have it at the moment, create it. Like today, figure out, lock in a time in your calendar today to go and spend a day away from the business, or even a Saturday away from the business, and just spend that time in reflection and future thought, and figure out what that next layer of success looks like for you.